Hello everyone, and welcome to my podcast. I'm Vicki with Avante-Avenue, and my Reseller Recap podcast is in addition to my regular reselling videos that you'll find on my YouTube channel, Avante-Avenue. It's been a while, hasn't it, since we've had a little chat. In fact, I thought about calling this a pod chat instead of a podcast. I decided in this video not to just give you a static screen the entire time, although you will see that pop up occasionally throughout this video. I know it's a podcast, and so you don't have to look at the screen at all, and please be safe if you're on the road and listening to it. Come back and watch it another time, but honestly what I'm just doing here is, Mark and I went out yesterday. We decided to go for another drive to enjoy the fall views, and we went to Irwin, Tennessee and Unicoi, Tennessee, about an hour and a half away, and it was so pretty that I decided to do some video. Although I will say, we started out with fog in the morning, a lot of fog, a lot of smoky mountains, and then it cleared up. So I have some video clips I took from basically from the time we left till the time we got home when it was getting dark. So I decided to put some video of the fall views last week and our fall views from our little drive yesterday, and just share it with you, intermingled with my Reseller Recap podcast image on the screen. So if you wonder what's going on, that's what that's about. But I do have some updates for you, a little bit of personal, a little bit of reselling, and I'm going to answer and comment on some questions that some of my subscribers have left on my YouTube videos. For those of you who follow my channel, you probably know that I had knee surgery about 6 weeks ago, and thank you for those of you who have commented and asked how I'm doing. I'm doing pretty good, I'd say, right now. It's been a little bit rough. The surgery was the easy part. My doctor said I had a large meniscus tear in my right knee, and the surgery went great, and I was off crutches in a couple of days, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake. I'm going to get through this with no problem. Well, therapy is challenging, and I'm the type of person that I am dedicated to my therapy, but I will say, as of this moment, 6 weeks out, that I'm doing pretty good, and I'm finally getting some movement, and things are going much better. So thank you again for asking. And if you're wondering how Mark did while I was working through my recovery period here, Mark did fantastic in packing and shipping my items on eBay. We actually even FaceTimed sometimes, and we've never used FaceTime on our phones before. So that was pretty neat. But he has done fantastic, and I so much appreciate his help. Even now, even though I'm better, he is still helping me with the packing. Maybe I'll do the packing, he'll run the labels, or vice versa, or he'll pull the stuff and I'll pack and ship it. I know how hard it is to work all by yourself, and many of you probably do. And I have worked by myself for many years, but it really does help if you have someone that is interested and willing and able to get involved and help you. And also, in case you're sick or you have surgery or whatever, it's really good to have a backup. So keep that in mind if you have anyone that would be interested in helping you with your reselling business. So as far as the last 6 weeks, oh my goodness, I've put out some videos on my channel. Some I pre-recorded before my surgery, some I worked on during my recovery period here, and I have many more in the works. And this is a good time to tell you that if you see videos throughout the winter or early spring, and I'm in a tank top, well, I do a lot of videos through spring and summer, and so I have an inventory, you might say, of videos to put out through the winter months. Yes, I may be going to the Goodwill and the Restore through the winter, but you know how it is. The garage sales and the church rummage sales kind of slow down and go away for several months, and so I've got an inventory of videos. So don't be surprised if you see me in a tank top in January. That's what's going on. I did take some time away last week to have some fun, and some time away yesterday to have some fun, and I hope you are too. Sometimes we work so much that we forget to slow down and take a break. And Mark and I had company visiting last week. They actually stayed in their camper at a campground, and our friends from Florida brought a few relatives in Florida, so we entertained 4 people for several days. But Mark and I drove them around to explore the area. We went to Carver's Gap, which is on Roan Mountain, and I actually walked up a mountain. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. About 3/4 of a mile up and 3/4 of a mile down. I took my time, one step at a time, had a cane, had Mark, stopped to catch my breath, and I did it. I think I paid the price afterwards. I had a rough weekend and beginning of a rough week, but I've worked through it and we had a really great time. We also took them to a local park that we absolutely love. It's called Bays Mountain, where they have some wild animals and there's a lake on top of the mountain. And we had a beautiful day there as well. So be sure to take some time and get away, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, and enjoy the beautiful fall weather that we've had. Yes, it's chilly. In fact, I just checked the weather outside. I walked out for a second, 52 degrees, quite chilly, turned around, came back in. And while I enjoy my cup of hot blueberry tea, Mark is upstairs having his cookie chino. If you don't know what that is chocolate chip cookies dipped in Hills Brothers cappuccino. I think he likes the toffee. English toffee. Yes, he's having a cookie chino, and he's also having a little panic attack because there is a shortage of his favorite chocolate chip cookie at Aldi, and we just don't know what we're going to do. Boy, things are rough around here, when you can't get your chocolate chip cookies. Oh my gosh. But there's shortages and other things out there too, and we're going to talk about that. So I hope you have your favorite beverage as well while we walk through some things on eBay and reselling in general. My last video was about all the item-specific changes that eBay made, and I'm not going to get into it very much. That video I put out several weeks ago basically covers the details of what's going on. But I will say this, I am finding items in the wrong categories as I'm editing my item specifics. I have found plates under cups, cups under plates, plates under bowls. I don't know what's going on, but things are quite messed up. So check your categories when you're doing your editing and updating your item specifics. Make sure things are where they're supposed to be and check all those boxes. Another thing I'm doing is I am ending and selling similar on some of my older listings. I don't know if you know this or not, but when you go into your active listings in eBay, you should have a column that you can sort by that shows the date that you listed the item. I am assorting that column to show the oldest dates first. So I have some listings from 1 year ago this month that have been sitting there for a while, and I decided to end and sell similar. Because we have over 2,400 items in our store, I'm choosing to end 100 listings a day, but I'm doing it 50 at a time, just in case some unexpected item specifics pop up in my bulk editing that I have to address. So far, so good. But anyway, what I'm suggesting here is that you take a look at your older listings and consider ending and sell similar. Most of mine are free. I'm sure I'm going to have to pay eventually on some of them. I can't tell you that. I don't know what store level you have or what you'll find when you go to do it. But this is my advice on this. I would never end all my listings at the same time and sell similar. I find that most of my listings sell when they're newly listed or ending soon. And so I like listings starting and ending every day. You've probably heard me say that in past videos. So I only want to do a small group per day, and it might take me 30 days to get them all end and sell similar, but I highly advise against doing them all at once. It's good to have them rolling over every day, ending and relisting, and of course listing new items as well. Another tip, if you decide to end and sell similar, is after you've done the sell similar, check your phone or check your laptop, check whatever, and make sure that they have listed, that they're there. Then go back to your unsold listings and delete them. But make sure you're not deleting something else that you've ended that you really don't want deleted. Only delete the ones that you've done the sell similar to. But if you don't go back and delete those before you start the next batch, it will become very confusing which ones you had already relisted, and you sure don't want to try to relist them twice. So end, sell similar, make sure they're listed and active, go back and delete the unsold listings, and then repeat the process for however many you choose to do a day. It could be 25, 50, 100, whatever. I actually went into all my Christmas items, every single one, and I ended every Christmas item and did sell similar, and I've been selling Christmas items pretty much every day over the last week since I did that. This is the perfect time of year to refresh those Christmas listings and of course get more Christmas items listed if you have them. Leave a comment below. Let me know. Do you have Christmas items listed? Are they selling for you as well? I know for us, they're selling. And I even picked up more yesterday. Yes, I did. And also speaking of Christmas, we stopped in the ReStore yesterday in Johnson City, Tennessee. and they already had their Christmas items out. I wasn't even thinking about Christmas when we walked in there, but I found a few things. I found a nativity set made in Italy, and just a few things. So this is the time to check out your ReStore and your Goodwill and your thrift stores for Christmas inventory. See what you can find to resell because, tis the season. It's here. Do you know that there is a shortage of boxes? Why? Well, because there's a shortage of materials to make boxes. BusinessInsider.com put out an article about another hurdle, and that is a shorter supply of cardboard boxes. Yes, ironically, a few days before this article came out, I was in the post office. I was talking about the 12 by 12 by 8 box. I forget what number it is right this second. And the clerk said, we can't get any. We can't get any of those boxes in. I'm like, what? So as soon as I got home, I quickly ordered some more because I use that box a lot. And they're supposed to be coming in, to my surprise. So kind of ironic that the post office can't get them, but I might get them. That remains to be seen. So if you haven't done so, I highly recommend you get on USPS.com and order your free priority boxes. If you haven't used your quarterly coupon, if you have an eBay store, make sure you get those boxes in and supplies. And of course, your other supplies too, like bubble wrap and tape is important. The other thing that you may not know is that the USPS is shrinking some of their priority boxes to better fit their equipment. And so new boxes being printed are going to, end up being slightly smaller. You can still use your old inventory though, but it's going to change over time. Not sure how long it will take, but it's happening. I'm not suggesting you hoard boxes, but simply be prepared with the boxes that you use on a regular basis for the type of items that you ship. The Priority Mail Tyvek envelope that I use frequently is going to be about an 1/8 inch smaller. That doesn't sound too major, but if you use regional rate boxes, box B, it's going to be 2.5 inches smaller in width. That's quite a difference. You can always go out to Google and type in USPS Priority Mail boxes to become smaller and find the rest of the details. Not all boxes are affected. The bottom line, to fit their equipment better, USPS wants the boxes to be a maximum width of 12 inches and a maximum length of 15 inches. No changes to the height at this time, but that's what they're trying to do. Again, they say to better fit their equipment to help process the boxes faster. We'll see. And I have a source to share with you. I found a company that I buy my boxes from now, and I'm going to share it with you. This is not an affiliate link. I make zero on this. No pennies per purchase, as I do on my Amazon affiliate links, and it really truly is just pennies, but I appreciate everything you buy through my links. In fact, I like to put out there a thank you to all of you that have used my go-to shipping supplies at the bottom of all my videos. It's in the description below the video. And also, I'd like to plant the seed with you that if you would be so kind when you need to do a reorder, to just simply look up one of my videos, drop down the description box, and click any one of my links that will take you to Amazon. What will happen is anything that you order of my supplies, I will get a small affiliate link commission from, and it will help me over and over again if you do that on a regular basis. I appreciate your first order, but boy, I'd really appreciate your future orders as well. And it's just as simple as clicking on one of my links to lead you to Amazon before you place your orders. So thank you. But I have something I'm going to share with you. And let me preface this lead with the fact that the boxes aren't perfect. Some of them are, some of them aren't. It's been kind of hit and miss. But the prices are so good that I'll probably keep using this company. And it's called Packaging Price. PackagingPrice.com. It's out of Illinois. They have a website, packagingprice.com. I am not sponsored. I am not getting anything for saying this. But I placed an order in June to try these boxes out. I ordered, what did I order here? 3, 6. I ordered about 10 different sizes, 25 of each size from 5 by 5 by 5 to 12 by 12 by 12. Because, eBay's 12 by 12 by 12 is very expensive. You basically used your entire coupon to get their 12 by 12 by 12 boxes. So I decided to get some unbranded boxes on hand. To give you an example, my 5 by 5 by 5 boxes, which are great for little figurines and Christmas ornaments, things that are fragile that require a box, I paid 29 cents for. So for $7.25, I got 25 boxes. Now prices can vary, you know that. What I paid in June may not be the same price it is today. My largest box, 12 by 12 by 12, did cost me 84 cents per box. So I spent $23 for 25 boxes. My total bill came to $130.50. They had a little July 4th promotion going on. I think I got 10% off. I don't know. I got $10.52 off. I did have to pay sales tax, and I did pay a shipping and handling fee. It was $29.95. But I have checked eBay. I've checked Amazon. I've checked Google. I'm always searching for the best price on a box. And I even compared these prices to eBay's prices for their free shipping supplies. And a lot of times these are 1/3 less than what eBay is charging for their boxes. I know we're not really paying with a coupon, but still, they're more expensive on eBay. So if you need to stock up on boxes and you can't find what you're looking for, on eBay, on Amazon, check out packagingprice.com, PRICE.com, and see what they have and compare. To me, it was worth it. I'm really stocked up on boxes. And of course, I do go to Amazon and get my bubble wrap and my foam and all the other stuff that I use, my tape and everything. So I am well stocked to take me probably through March. And yeah, my air pillows and stuff. So if you haven't done so, you better get your orders in because it's going to get tough, especially apparently on cardboard boxes. Here's something else that I don't think I've actually told you. Mark and I originally were using eBay labels. We also are set up on getting paid daily instead of weekly. And we discovered several months ago that eBay was taking out all of the charges for the shipping first before they would pay us. Now, I know you probably think, well, of course they would. But we were in the hole for the sales we had already shipped. And then as more sales came in and we ran more labels, it's like negative, 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 negative for all the shipping charges before they would apply the income from the sale. So we were going many days without getting paid. So if you wonder why you're not getting paid, go into your eBay payments and look at how many charges they're taking out before they actually show you the income, the revenue. So we made a decision to go to Pirate Ship to run our labels, pirateship.com. Again, I'm not promoted, don't get a dime off of this, not a penny, nothing. But we switched to Pirate Ship several months ago, and we've really been happy with that decision. A few things you need to know. We do pay a little bit more than the eBay shipping label. It might be 15 cents, it might be 30 cents. So yes, we pay a little bit more, but we get our money faster from eBay because they're not holding it for several days. Sometimes it would be 4 days in between when we were, and I'm not counting the weekend, but 3 or 4 days till we got paid when we knew we had sales and should be getting paid daily. So going to pirateship.com has done a couple of things for us. Number one, eBay's not holding our shipping money. Yes, there's a slight fee for that, is how I look at it, but we can live with that. Slightly higher on most things by about 15, 20 cents, on a rare occasion 30 cents. But here are a couple other benefits for making this change, or any other service that you choose to use. I know stamps.com used to charge. Pirate Ship is free, so we went with Pirate Ship. They save our tracking numbers from the time we ran our first label. I've got information back there with the tracking number to 2019. So if I need access to that tracking number, I have it. Now that doesn't mean that that tracking number is still good on USPS.com because they only hold them for, I think, 120 days? That's all, unless you want to pay a fee to have a permanent tracking number. So, of course, we're not going to do that. But the thing is, we can go back and get that tracking number, that information. And we haven't had to use it. I hope we never have to, but it's there for us. It's not deleted like the USPS.com deletes everything, or like eBay deletes everything every 90 days. In addition to that, you can purchase additional insurance for your item. You need to read all the details, about the coverage and what it covers and doesn't cover. But you can buy additional coverage. Anyone who's filed a claim with USPS for priority mail probably has found out in the last year that they're not really paying out. In fact, the rep told me that every claim filed is automatically declined. Yes, declined. And they're putting it back on you to try again to appeal. And then that drags out for months. And of course, you also have to have your buyer keep the item and take it to the post office. I mean, basically, the USPS is doing everything possible not to pay out. And as to Pirate Ship, yes, you do need to get the item in your possession or have your buyer hold on to it and all the packing material. So you do need to hold on to it, but it's a different process in filing the claim. You will need photos and things like that. I did pay for insurance on a lot of things last Christmas when we had the delivery debacle. When things weren't getting delivered, I started insuring some things, but I didn't have to file any claims. So I haven't actually used the claim process, but it's there, and it's pennies. It's really pennies on the dollar. In fact, it's 75 cents for up to $50 in insurance, 80 cents per $100. I think they have $1,000 maximum, and you need to have signature required. So you do have to read all the fine print. I'm not telling you everything here, but it is good to know that my tracking number is there. I have additional insurance I can buy if I need to. And one tip with Pirate Ship, do be careful. Sometimes it tends to default to the cheapest rate. Like if you set it up on eBay for priority mail, it might default to UPS because it's slightly cheaper. But if we already told our buyer that it's going priority mail, we change it to what it should be. So keep that in mind. And always make sure you're choosing the ship date, which is typically the next day from when you run the label. Check your ship date, check the method of shipping, and it's pretty easy. And what I've neglected to say, of course, is you walk through all the steps. You can set this up for your eBay sales to import into Pirate Ship, and then it automatically reports back to eBay that you did ship it, and it enters a tracking number. So I'm not going to get into all that. Walk through it and get it set up, and it's pretty handy to have. It's a handy resource to have just in case eBay labels don't print for some reason, which has happened in the past. And it's free. There's no charge for using pirateship.com. Again, not sponsored, but I just wanted to put that out there for you. I have some comments and questions from subscribers to avanteavenue, and I'm going to walk through a few of them. Some of these go back several videos ago. Julie Norman asked me about my inventory tracking and how I do that. I have several methods. If you've seen my video on my eBay room makeover, you'll see shelves and shelves of items. Well, all of that tracking is simply visual. I keep a lot of glass items here that I don't want to put away in a box. I don't want to put in the garage. First and foremost, I have a lot of items that it's visual for finding my inventory. After that, I use a QR code system. It's not the perfect system. I've talked about it in some of my videos, but it's Duck Pack and Track. It's really meant for moving. It's imperfect because you can't really use photos in it. It doesn't really work that way, and you can only use it on one device. But my Pack and Track QR codes have helped me a lot. You can typically buy the Pack and Track Duck, D-U-C-K, Pack and Track labels on eBay, put them on your box, and set up the app on your phone, and just remember to delete it when you sell it. And that's been very handy. The other thing that I try to use more often than not is the custom label area in our eBay listings. Just below the title a little bit, there's a place for custom label. I like to put the date that I'm listing it, sometimes the date, and because I do videos, sometimes I put the date now of when I bought it and what I paid for it, where I bought it, and where it's stored. So keep that in mind. That custom label is very handy for tracking where your inventory is stored. When I did that video recently for Joyce with Quilted Nest Vintage, had a question on there. Sheila asked me, how long do you spend on research? I know it probably looks like I spend an enormous amount of time based on that video, but I really don't. It always takes longer to show you in a video all the steps rather than just doing it. A lot of things I just have experience in, first of all, and I know where I want to price it. But I do look at eBay solds and sort by highest to lowest, see what's sold. Sometimes I take that listing to sell one like it. And only on occasion do I go out to Google and search Google Shopping or Google Images or replacements.com. Typically, I just, work through it pretty fast. So how much time? I guess I spend a couple of minutes. Not too long, and a lot of times I bump my price up. Let's say that they're selling for $20. I might put my price at $24.95 or $26.95 with make offer. And when I send offers, I send on a regular basis, I send 15% off. But I typically only do that on items that are $14.95 and up. I don't send offers on really low-priced items. Patch Rollins asked me, which do you like better, Makari or Poshmark? Oh my gosh, that's easy. Makari. It's so easy. I mean, Poshmark is easy to list too. I have more sales on Makari. I sell a lot of hard goods on Makari, some clothing too. And I really need to list more. I'm trying to get back to listing more. I really had gotten away from listing on either one for many, many months. and just recently got back to cross-posting to Makari and Poshmark. But Makari, the fees are cheaper. I don't do free shipping. I use the Makari labels. Yes, they're higher than eBay, but compared to Poshmark, who only has a label available that goes up to 5 pounds and makes it a 5-pound priority mail charge for my buyer for a piece of jewelry, that's, maybe $10, it's just not reasonable to me. They need to come up with another system. In my experience, most buyers on Poshmark do not bundle, first of all, and I get very, very lowball offers because they have to pay the high shipping. So if I'm going to compare the two, Makari. But between Makari, Poshmark, and eBay, I get far more sales on eBay than Makari and Poshmark combined. But then again, I'm very lax at listing there. Leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite platforms are. I mean, I assume you sell on eBay because you follow my podcast, you follow my channel, Avante-Avenue, but let me know how it's going for you on Makari and or Poshmark. Nona's daughter asked me some questions about how I track things for my taxes. Well, I'm not an accountant, so I got to be careful what I say, but here's a couple of things that I do. I carry a notebook with me when I go to garage sales, church sales, rummage sales, and I put the date on it, the start mileage, the ending mileage, and whatever I buy that day. And then I use GoDaddy. We use GoDaddy.com. It's an inexpensive bookkeeping system. It's very user-friendly. It's $10 and some change a month. And I will typically total up what I spent for the weekend or the day, whichever, and enter it as my cost of goods and a brief description of where we went, that weekend. And then the mileage, of course, is in that book as well, which we typically don't work through till year end, but we've got the starting and ending mileage. That's in my notebook. For things that I have receipts, like Goodwill and Salvation Army and Restore, well, I have the receipt that I can enter into GoDaddy. And I'm not sponsored for this either, so very easy, very user-friendly, and I think relatively inexpensive. Then I have an Excel spreadsheet for tracking inventory, what you bought and what you paid and what you sold it for. It takes a little bit extra time, but the Excel spreadsheets are pretty handy too. Then after that, you'll just have to talk to your accountant, see what works best for you. But those are some of the things that we do. Oh, I do have another tip for you. If you forgot to track your mileage over the year, if you go to the post office, I hope you keep your post office receipt. We save our post office receipts and we can log them at the end of the year in a notebook with the date, and we know the mileage round trip to the post office, so we can catch up on that if we forgot to do it. If we go to the Goodwill store or the Restore, we have a receipt. We can write that in our mileage book and enter the round trip mileage. So if you forgot to do it, you probably have receipts that you can work from to help rebuild your mileage for the year. So give that a try. TLK asked me about using shredded paper for fragile items. I answered that pretty bluntly. I said, absolutely not for fragile. And this is why. Years ago, I did use shredded paper. No, I didn't break anything. Nothing broke in shipping. But I'd never really used it for heavy items because it just compresses too much. But I had a shredder that I put over top of a trash can, and it was just a single strip shredder. So it wasn't the privacy kind that shreds it to pieces. It was just single strips. And I tried newspaper in it, and that just creates so much dust, and it just doesn't have any sturdiness to it. So absolutely not for fragile items. What I do recommend is if you want to use some shredded paper, do not use the crosscut. Have a single strip shredder. And what you want to shred, if you're going to do it, is the glossy ads in the newspaper, the advertisements that are full color, magazine pages, I guess heavier paper placemats can be used, things that are sturdier. But what I would use it for at that time, and I don't do it anymore, let's say I have a boxed Christmas ornament that's lightweight and I'm putting it inside another box and I just need some filler. Well, the shredded paper can work fine around that for non-fragile, non-breakable items as filler. But it does add weight. Paper adds a lot more weight than bubble wrap. So you have to keep that in mind and just see if you allowed enough on the postage charge to allow for any extra weight from paper. So that's my take on it. If you use shredded paper, again, I don't think newspaper is a very good thing to use, and it does create a lot of dust. But yeah, there's my thoughts on that, I guess. All right. And then I did the video, as I said, Quilted Nest Vintage for Joyce. And I want to thank Joyce again for letting me do that. It just happened through conversation that I extended that offer to her. And I want to thank Suzanne Webb for commenting on that video and with helping Joyce about the mixing bowls and the numbers on the bowls and correcting that. So thank you. And I'm going to put out there, if you like that video, and I hope you got to see the video, and if you'd like for me to do another one, and if you'd like to enter to win the opportunity to have a couple of listings in your store reviewed, leave a comment below this video saying, store review, please, I guess, and I will have a drawing and let you know. But I need enough people interested. I need to know if you really, really like that kind of video. Yeah, leave a comment. Let me know. Speaking of comments, I want to thank those of you who do leave comments on my videos, and I appreciate the thumbs up and all that good stuff. I did notice that comments have slowed down on my videos. If you know anything about YouTube, YouTube promotes our videos based upon how people respond to it. So I really, really, really appreciate when you leave me a comment. You know, the thumbs up is great, but that comment helps boost it in search. My channel is growing, but I can use all the help I can get. And besides that, I love to read your comments, and I always respond as well. So thank you for that. Thanks for listening, everyone. I'm Vicki with Avante Avenue. I'll see you soon.